is get you? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be doing a squad builder for 100,000 MT. Now, in the past, when I've tried to do these videos, I feel like my squad has not been that great, and that if you were to go out there with those type of squads, you would definitely be at a disadvantage. This right now, as it stands, I think you can build such a good budget squad, especially if you add some of the free cards that we have gotten in my team. Now, this video isn't going to include any of the free cards, but I'm just going to throw some out there, okay? Level 40 Wilt Chamberlain. Is level 40 hard to get? I feel like this year it's not super hard to get. That's just kind of my personal opinion, especially if you play the game a decent amount. He's a great guy to add to your collection. Clutch time online, if you can win 15 games in a row, really hard to do. Joe Johnson is obviously really solid. So those are just a couple of guys that you guys can throw out there for you guys. And even the free diamond that you guys got in Thanksgiving, or for the Thanksgiving event in my team. If you grinded out that, and let's say you got like a Mikal Bridges type of guy, those guys can all play as well. So those are just some things to think about before we dive into kind of the best, I would say, budget builder, 100K squad builder that we are coming up with today in this video. Now, we're going to start it off at the point guard position with Sapphire Larry Hughes. Now, I'm gonna be breaking down all of these cards for you guys after I plug them into the lineup. Larry Hughes, 6'5", 6'8", wingspan, defensively is an absolute menace. And that's what I really want you guys to know for Larry Hughes is his offense fine? Yeah, it's fine. But the best part about the card is going to be that defensive end of the court and how many stops he gets for you. Jared Butler base is fine. Pro dribble style is fine. Normal leaner is fine. But the best thing about him is his 88 ladder quickness, good speed, and great defense. If you play that great of defense, you will always have a spot on the TyDeBo squad builder. It really is that simple, really is that easy to understand. Larry Hughes will always have a special place in my heart for how much defense the card does play. At the 2, we're plugging in an Evo in KCP Evo to a Ruby. So Larry Hughes only costs 10,000 MT. Kentavious Caldwell Pope does cost 13,000 MT. But when you do Evo him to a Ruby, he gets way better. 87 3-ball, 79 interior. And I think that's slept on, right? The interior, you guys might not think means that much, but he will give you that occasional paint stop. With the Evo to a Ruby, does get that silver range as well. 87 3-ball is smooth release, plays a ton of defense with silver range. Doesn't get much better than that. Sadly, the Nuggets didn't do as well as in the in-season tournament as I wanted them to do. Obviously dropping, a game they should have won, all those types of things. So, I mean, look, I wish KCP was getting an Evo all the way to a diamond like Jared Vanderbilt. Sadly, not the case, but even at that Ruby tier, is still really solid in my personal opinion in my team. Next up, guys, at the small forward position, here's a guy I haven't not talked about a ton, but I want to plug into the lineup, and that is Tobias Harris. Now, when Tobias Harris as an Emerald first came out, I was like, ew, this card stinks, right? It had no defense. But when you look at him at a Ruby, he's fine. Interior, perimeter, lateral quickness, all of those upper 70s. And my whole thing is, if those were in the 80s, everybody would be hyping this card up because you just see a ton more green. Now, the difference between 79 and 81 is like nothing, but on here it looks like a huge difference. Now, with Tobias Harris, comes with the silver range, good 3-ball, good speed, and he has box out beast and rebound chaser. Is he going to be the best defensive player in the entire game? No, but he's at least going to be able to hold it down enough for you guys to use the card and have some success with him. Tobias Harris definitely has a spot in the starting lineup at that small forward position. My favorite player in this squad builder, Jared Vanderbilt at a diamond, man. I'm so tired of people talking about Jared Vanderbilt as not being very good. The amount of people I say, well, Ty, he doesn't have clamps. He doesn't have anchor. He's not good. Man, be quiet. Like, I get he doesn't have anchor. I get he doesn't have clamps. Ask me if I really care that much, because I don't, man. I don't. He still has immaculate defensive stats, immaculate defensive badges. His ability to shoot the ball is crazy considering he is Jared Vanderbilt. I get so tired of people so worried about these specific badges. Jared Vanderbilt shoots the ball well. He plays great defense, and overall on the court is just an incredible power forward budget baller. A card that you can use and just have so much success with. Starting center, I'm plugging in Bobby Portis. A card who, I mean, isn't the most hyped up card, but another Evo for what? 13,000 MT. Now, when you look at Bobby Portis at that Ruby tier, he gets way better speed, way better rebounding, gets that gold rebound chaser, and even the strength rating goes way up. He has a smooth release, and his ability to stretch the court is really important, because if you look at the squad we don't have that much offense, and so I don't really want to run an interior big. I want to run a lineup in which everybody can shoot the ball on the court, and each and every one of these cards can, because I don't even know who I'm going to run my offense through with this squad. I mean, Larry Hughes isn't necessarily a primary ball handler, neither is KCP, neither is Tobias Harris, and so if you don't have like a creator, let's say like a Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry type of player, you need to run a guy like a 5-out type of squad, and I think you could have a lot of success with this lineup. Headlining the bench unit, another Evo card in Derek White. When these Evos first came out, I don't think budget ballers realized how valuable they would be. Derek White at this tier, steal goes up to a 44, 3-ball goes up to an 84, gets so many playmaking badges, and normally I would say that's not that important, but for a point guard, especially a budget squad, is super important. Plays so much defense, 6'4", such a smooth release as well. I honestly think Derek White is super underrated, not only in my team, but in play now, right? I've been using the Boston Celtics in play now, and I really do like Derek White in that type of setting as well. I personally use him quite a bit over Al Horford. So that shows you how much Derek White has, or how much respect I have for Derek White in general. Headlining the bench unit. At the 2, we're plugging in Benedict Maan, a card who look, I'm going to be honest with you. I never thought Benedict Maan would make it to an AME. I just didn't. I didn't have that much hope for him. But at an AME, the card becomes really solid. And it starts with the 3-ball, guys. An 86 3-ball is really high. You're going to green a ton of shots with Benedict Maan. 86 3-ball, release on quick, 85 speed. And even defensively, he's fine. Not great, but he is fine on that defensive end of the court. And that just goes to show that, like, if you have a decent ladder quickness, decent speed, you don't even need that many badges. It's why I'm running him next to Derek White. I know he's not going to get you pure stops, and so I need a point guard that can. Derek White does the trick. Benedict Maan at the 2 is a perfect guy to line up right next to Derek White in the bench backcourt to have a lot of success. I feel like with this squad, I need a pure lock, and that is going to be Dorian FinneySmith. When you think of a 3-and-D player in my team, you got to think of Dorian FinneySmith. 84 3-ball, 84 speed, good interior perimeter, decent lateral quickness, shooting-wise, gold catch and shoot, obviously has gold corner specialist, and defensive badges are off the charts. I mean, release-wise, I gotta be honest with you, when I've shot with Dorian FinneySmith, it's not like I love his release. It's fine, it's usable, you can have a lot of success with it, but it's not like it's my favorite release in the game. But as long as you can use it, have success with it, green a lot of shots, I think people are gonna like what Dorian FinneySmith provides for them on the court. I know I personally do, coming in at that bench 3. I don't need a guy that's gonna give me a lot of scoring. I don't. I just need a guy that can hold it down, play a lot of defense, and knock down some shots. At the 4, we're plugging in a Larry Nance Jr. Now, DBG loves this card. DBG hypes this card up. DBG says this card is better than Jared Vanderbilt. Now, newsflash, this card doesn't compare to Jared Vanderbilt. He doesn't. But for 10,000 MT, it's tough to beat. I gotta be honest with you. It's tough to beat Larry Nance for that 10,000 MT. I'm not trying to sit here and say he's better than Jared Vanderbilt, because I don't think he is, but he's tough to beat for that. Decent release, has a decent 3-ball, just can hold it down at 6'8", even has the hot spots from that right corner and right slot, which, again, you guys might not think are the biggest deal in the world, but they do end up helping it out and mattering a little bit. I don't know, I've actually never used this card. I'm taking DBG's word, to be honest with you, because for me, if I have Jared Vanderbilt, I grinded for the free Anthony Davis on my No Money Spent squad series. I really have no reason for Larry Nance Jr. And then that's just kind of my opinion, but it's why you got to grind for those free cards like Anthony Davis, so then you don't have to buy a guy like Larry Nance Jr. At the center position, I'm plugging in a Naz Reid. I know I'm undersized in my starting and bench unit, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. 81 3-ball, 79 3-ball, or 79 speed, and decent defense, including the gold rebound chaser, chase the artist, stuff like that. Those are the things that are going to allow Naz Reid to compete against some of those best bigs in the game. Because look, his stats, his badges aren't that good, but when you have a decent strength, when you have decent rebounding and decent, badges, especially rebound chaser, those are the things that are going to matter when it comes down to it. Release wise, I feel like it's not great for Naz Reid, but it's not horrible. People should be able to green with him and have some decent success with him. I know for me, maybe I'm biased as a Timberwolves fan, but I know he's going to stretch the court well, compete well enough on the defensive end of the court that I have to plug him in for my 100K squad builder. at this final center position. So ultimately, this is what the final squad does look like. If I had 100,000 MT and started the game today, this is the squad I would try to build. That's gonna take you a while to do. By the time you do evo up all these players, you're probably gonna have 100 extra thousand MT to use, and that will be icing on the cake. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.